Got the whole world in your hand. Hello, today it's a rainy day in Bali, and I want to finish my little talk on the mount. And last time we spoke about the Venus Mount, and today we'll speak about the other mount that you can see in the diagram that's to my right or the left. And the thing about mounts, what they show you, is the capabilities of a person. It's like one screw into the capabilities. Because the more developed the mounts, the more like nerve fiber bundles there are, the more capable a person is. And that's what the palmistry that I'm doing is, taking a clue here, information here, and information there, and then we're making like an interpretation. So the mounts are just one aspect, looking at the hand, and the palm and the palm shape, as we said before, is about capability. It's talking about capability about it. So when somebody has a developed mount, they're usually able to take care of themselves, and also they can be reliable and responsible, because they're able to. Like we see a person with flat hand, with a flat mount, these persons might have trouble, especially if their lines are weak. If they have a weak mental body, like your headline, then, probably they're going to be more on the tendency to be irresponsible, unreliable, and having more issues and more struggle to meet the challenges of life. So that's just one aspect of mounts. So we spoke about the Venus mount. Now I will speak about the mounts under the fingers. The first one is the Jupiter mount, which you can see in the diagram. Now the Jupiter, this finger is, and also the area under the finger, this is the area of how we're presenting ourselves to the world. This is what Jupiter is about. These two fingers, the thumb and Jupiter, this is how we grab the world. So they're active fingers. And Jupiter deals with goals and ambitions. It deals with religious ideas or higher worldly ideas, and how you're presenting yourself to the world. So when somebody has a good mount, a Jupiter mount, you know that they have some good abilities to present themselves, some sort of charisma maybe even. But they have that ability. And you see that in business people that are in business, they usually have their Jupiter mount developed, which goes along with also the Mercury mount, which is here. And very often people have a good Mercury mount. Mercury is about communication mostly. It's about inner feelings, about intimate relationships, which is actually communication. It's all about, again, self-worth. It can have a relation to the ability to express. So when you see people in business, usually they'll have a good Mercury mount and a good Jupiter mount. So that's one indication that these people are doing something in the world. It's good. Many people have the Mercury mount developed, and people have, and they always have good communication skills. So that's one thing I'm looking at. I know I see the Mercury mount is well developed, and I'm going, I know this person has good communication skills. I like to see develop Jupiter. I know this person has good extroverted skills. He can present himself well, So then we come to Saturn. Saturn is in the middle, and Saturn deals with balance. Saturn is also the foundation of moral issues. Saturn in astrology, it deals with life issues, but in palmistry it deals mostly with balance. That's why the Saturn line is also called the fortune line, destiny line, and Saturn gives a good foundation of moral sense. And you need a certain foundation of moral sense, but actually more than that is more troublesome than it's worth. Saturn is also, the controller. And you'll see that very much in the hand, or that especially when the Saturn finger is bent. Saturn finger, the Saturn mount is really instrumental in the moral viewpoint. So a person has like not a long satin mount, a big satin mount, they usually have a long satin finger because you don't usually see a rise in the satin mount. Now, so, and these people have a very strong sense of right and wrong, and it's actually never wrong. What also a good satin mount will give a person good organizational and good disciplinary skills. The satin does deal with organization, just as being disciplined. It also deals with long-term projects. The satin is a long-term, big planet that takes a long time to revolve around the Earth. So that's the satin. And now the only one left is the sun of the fingers. And again, this is another mount that I don't see all the time being raised for some reason. I find it mostly the Mercury and the Jupiter mounts that are raised under the finger. But so if somebody has a sun mount raised, that's adding into creativity and light, because the sun deals with creativity and light, or artistic expression. It's definitely about this. Okay. So now we come to the other side of the mountain. We come to the moon area, which is this part right here, which is also looking at the diagram. And the moon is about the right brain. It's about intuition. It's about the collective unconscious. And people that have a developed moon, they're usually intuitive. They have usually a good sense, good feeling for things. And when the moon is flat, a person can be intuitive, but doesn't have a special sense of being intuitive. Whereas a person with a developed moon mount will be more sensitive on that level. You know, like they'll think of somebody and that person pulls up in one area or whatever, something like this. So that's the Mercury mount. And underneath the Mercury mount here, we have the Pluto. And when somebody has a prominent Pluto, and you'll see it like a bulge at the end of the mount. Actually, in my hand, you can see that. These people, you know, Pluto deals with transformation through destruction and boundaries. So when I see somebody has developed Pluto mount, it is about transformation. And actually, you know, sometimes people have difficult lives because Pluto is operating like through destruction. Like if they're in a bad marriage, that's not good for their spiritual growth. You know, Pluto is going to do something where the person's going to get divorced or something like that. So that's how Pluto operates. And Pluto creates a tsunami. That's how Pluto operates. So when somebody has a long Saturn figure, has a big Saturn aspect of mount and Pluto, I know their life is totally about transformation. So that's that. And then we have in the middle, between the moon and between Venus, you have on this area here, you do have Neptune. And Neptune in palmistry deals with spirituality. So when so mostly what I'll see is the lifeline going into Neptune, and then I know the person his life is about dropping the ego. His life is about becoming less arrogant, more spiritual. So that is, I guess that is all the mounts that I deal with. There could be a few others that other people include. I forgot about Mars. Sorry about that. So Mars, there's two Mars. There's a male Mars, and that is underneath the, I might have spoken about this the last time. In case I did, I don't remember. So, but anyhow, I'll talk about it again, because that's actually a very important area, is the Mars area. And that is like under the lifeline, and it's sort of the top, or the top portion of the Venus. And Mars deals with power, deals with male power, and also male aggressive power. So when you see somebody with either a big area of Mars, which is very often, or they have a good, it's quite raised, these people have a lot of power. And usually, if it's afflicted, like if there's a lot of little lines on the Mars mount, you know the person has anger issues. And so I'm looking actually also from the left hand to the right hand with the Mars. And very often you see little lines coming up in the mind, crossing the lifeline, and that would be um, that would be, aggression coming towards the person in some way, in some fashion. And then we'll talk about this a lot more in other videos about the difference between the left and the right hand and the effect on the person in their childhood. So that's the mount. And then we're coming towards the other side, which is actually under the beginning of the heart line, above the moon mount. It's like the female Mars area, which deals with fortitude and courage. And usually when a person, and that area doesn't really get raised, but what I will see about that is there'll be lines of courage coming out of there. And when somebody has like a line of courage rising from that female Mars area amount to, let's say, the sun finger, these people have courage and fortitude. The only part about that is that they're usually called upon to use it. So this is kind of a two-edged, double-edged sword here. So that is what all I will say now about mounts. And again, my name is Virat on this rainy day in Bali. And I'll see you next time. And of course, please subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that, and download my book if you haven't done that, or if you feel like doing that. If not, I'll see you the next time. So long and thank you.